I love the idea of Prince as the gateway drug.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you have people come in and they're like, I don't want to print, And you're like, oh, okay. Well, hey, have a seat. Let me tell you about prints.
Jim, it's so great to see you, and we are thrilled that Jim Kempner Fine Art is coming to the Baltimore Fine Art Print Fair. I can't believe how soon it is. It's 2 weeks away, 2.5 weeks. Can you tell people about yourself and about your gallery?
Well, we are celebrating 25 years on the corner here in Chelsea, 23rd and 10th Avenue. You can believe that. So that's pretty exciting, although it's a little horrifying to think about, because I realized, the 25 years went like that. And in 25 years, I don't want to think about it.
Right.
So I'm like, how'd that happen? We're working on a book all about 25 years. On the corner, it'll be about the gallery, the shows, the, New York, Chelsea scene that we've seen for 25 years, and the madness of art. Pretty much. So I've been dealing for 35 years. So the 10 years before Chelsea, I was 7 years a private dealer from different New York apartments. And then I had a small gallery in Soho for 3 years on the 10th floor of a building that you really had to get lost to find. Now I'm here where people are walking in because they're like, oh, that's a pretty cool building.
It is a cool building. Did you build it?
I did not. I was the first tenant, and I told the architect, landlord, I said, and I'll be your last. It's Smith and Thompson Architects, and their office is still upstairs. Two architects who became very good friends of mine. So that's been nice. And they love the energy of the gallery, because we do, art exhibits, of course, but we also have put on theater plays in the gallery, and it's very Bauhaus, which is what they love and always loved, I started out as a print collector. That my love for art came from collecting prints and discovering printmaking. When I began, that was my main focus, and it's still a focus of mine, but I also represent many artists, painters, photographers, sculptors, so kind of run the gamut here.
But I love the idea of Prince as the gateway drug,
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you have people come in and they're like, I don't want to print, And you're like, oh, okay. Well, hey, have a seat. Let me tell you about prints.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if we just keep talking at them long enough, they'll come across the speed bump there.
Yeah. So we're very excited to be coming. I don't know, when was the last show?
The last fair at the Baltimore Museum of Art was in 2017, and I left shortly thereafter, and the new director, who's now leaving for SF MoMA, showed no sign of reviving it. So I, was watching and waiting, and here we are.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're excited.
Yeah, I'm too.
So we're bringing a nice varied collection of contemporary prints. What should I tell you?
Who are you most excited to bring with you?
Oh,
I mean, is there somebody new that we are going to be surprised by, or?
Well, I'm bringing a wonderful work by Charlie Hewitt. I'm actually bringing quite a few prints because he's an artist that I've actually shown over 30 years. Not everyone might know him, but he's a fabulous printmaker, also painter, sculptor, who's also started a Hopeful project that I don't know if you've seen, but he came up with the word hopeful as a lit sculpture. It looks like an old 50s sign you might find on the highway.
Oh, I did see that, yeah.
And he made a 25-footer in Portland, Maine, where he lives now. Since then, we've done a print of it, and we have 5 and 8 foot versions, lit versions that we've been selling. And we've started to put billboards in different states. People have just reacted so fantastically to the whole idea. Charlie gets notes all the time. He got one from this woman in the Bronx. She said, we need that up here. You know, we've had so many tragedies. So we went and we put all these hopeful billboards in the subways up there. We've gotten a lot of TV press and radio, and you know, we got interviewed by New York One, the 7 in the morning, across from Yankee Stadium. So it's taken off in a number of states. In Maryland, actually. So we'd like to get some for Washington. You know, like a big one on the White House. Be nice. I'm bringing a unique work, which is a collage of prints, but also a lot of handwork, a series that he did that I think is fantastic. I'm bringing a very rare Louise Bourgeois etching that was never editioned. We're bringing a number of wonderful Rauschenbergs because I love Rauschenberg, and I've always happy to bring Rauschenbergs, including Signs, which is that classic one of images from the 60s of the two Kennedy brothers and Martin Luther King. And
right.
I did something kind of fun. I was involved in reprinting the Woodstock poster. We found Arnold Skolnick, who was the originator of the image of the guitar and the bird. And we found him up in Maine, and he agreed to do a signed edition.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so that's really fun. So that'll be up there. We'll have a rare Jasper Johns, rare only because he did it for the embassies program. So they are like all in the embassies, you know, so you never see them out in the world. The edition was 50, which isn't so small, but you never see it on the market. So I'm happy about that. And the other surprises, you're gonna have to wait.
Let's back up for a second. You said that you, with Charlie, published a print to do with this hopeful project. So you publish occasionally. Who do you go to the same printers for every, like, do you have people that you always go to?
Charlie works with David Wolf in Portland, Maine. So we've published quite a few woodcuts with David. This is a screen print that he did with Diamond Dust. David can do a lot of things like that. But I've also used Alex Enrique, who I think's retired, although I'm not sure, but he, Warhol's old printer. And I published a print myself that I did with Alex. I think, who else did I use? Lower East Side did a litho for me. So I've used a number of different printers.
Right, depending on the technique, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I've been asking all of the people coming, and usually it's people who publish frequently, like more than you as a dealer. If I'm an artist, how do I get published with you?
Well, you'd have to be an artist that I not necessarily represent, but that I show.
Okay, so are you open to, I mean, I'm always fascinated by like how does the connection happen,
Yeah. I always tell anyone who wants to send me something, email to send it. But I always say, make sure when you send an email to a dealer, make sure that when they open it, there's like something like, wow. Don't, tell me your life story and then have a link, Sometimes there's like 3 links. If you go here and here and here, like we've got 700 emails. So that's the thing.
That's good advice. Open with a big, powerful image.
yeah. Because if it's like, oh, that's interesting, I want to keep going. But
well, it has to catch your attention in a matter of a half a second, really.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll see work at other fairs or whatever, might be interested in, and think, oh, that would be an interesting someone to do a print with. Right now, Charlie, who has incredible energy, doing a million projects, but he's also working with Randy Hemminghouse. You know Randy?
Sure, of course.
So looking to do print projects.
Oh, great.
So we're in the process of that right now. If you're an artist that wants, I mean, obviously you can find a printer yourself. If you want someone else to pay for it, then you know, make sure it's really splashy.
Yeah, each of the printers and publishers are everybody's basically the same, but one said, "Don't ever approach me at a fair because I'm trying to sell stuff." So, you
Yeah,
know, let's talk about it
that's
later.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably good advice. Yeah.
Yeah. And some are like, "I love cold calls. Give me a jingle," you know.
Or don't approach the dealer at like an opening.
Right, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, there is a comportment issue that comes along with
Yes.
all of
Yes.
this. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, my office is right here. As people walk in, my window's right here. So I get people all the time walking into the office to show me stuff. And if I'm not crazy busy, I'll go, okay, you know. But I've had some interesting encounters, to say the least. Some of which I have filmed in The Madness of Art. Did you watch The Madness of Art?
I haven't seen it recently. Are you still producing it at that pace that you were?
No, not at the pay. I just did one. If you go online now, I released one recently about NFTs. So you should check that out. It's my son and I discussing it. But I had somebody come in with his art, and I said, "Oh, that's nice." You know, I said, "Oh, good. You know, keep up the whatever." And he said, "Oh, I'm going to leave it with you. Leave this art." And then I said, "No, no, no." He goes, "No, no. Yeah, and when you sell it, you'll pay me." And I said, "No, you know." And then he got upset. You know, he was like a little crazy, and he like stormed out like a maniac and left his art with me. But he had a big duffel bag. It's very scary. And then he came back later. I was talking about him, and he comes into my office with this duffel bag, which looks like it has a body. And he's like, nothing happened. He's my best friend. Jim, hey, listen, so when you sell I said, listen, you know, I'm sorry. You know, you said it was good. I said, well, I was being nice, you know. And then he was cursing, you know, so I ended up literally, because it was scary, like he was like cursing as he went out. And I actually called the police. I said, they said, if he comes back, call us. So he came back a few times, but I did make a very funny Madness of Art about that, where my staff confuses him for Drew's boyfriend. And we call the cops, and the cops end up tasering him and dragging him out.
So for people who aren't watching, maybe explain what the Madness of Art is all about, because it is wonderful.
The Madness of Art is a web series, comedy web series about the art world. We've done 50 episodes, and we're on our 7th season. It's kind of like The Office, if The Office was an art gallery. So it's about Chelsea. It's about me and the art gallery and dealers. You know, I've had Robert Indiana was in an episode, Bernard Benet, Chuck Close shows up in one, and a bunch of others. What's great is it's mostly based on real stories. You know, that's my other passion.
Well, and I mean, you have a background in stand-up comedy, right?
Yes, right before I became an art dealer. That was that was the natural progression into an art dealer. I did have a little bit, and so this sort of combines my two passions. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Also, I might add that I'll be doing a show, because I've been doing some acting, in Asbury Park, May 13th and 14th and 15th.
Wow.
We're doing the play Art. Do you know the play?
I do not.
It won the Tony, I think, like 15 years ago.
Wow.
It's about 3 friends, and one of them buys a white painting, all white. And it's how it affects the relationship. It's a great play.
Oh, I do remember it, but I did not see it. Oh my gosh.
So I highly recommend.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are they going to videotape it?
You know, we were supposed to do it a year ago, live. We ended up doing a Zoom performance of Art live, 2 nights. It was really fun. I was in New York. One of the actors was in New Jersey, and the other actor was in Los Angeles, and the director was in Canada.
Oh my gosh.
and we did, and it really turned out nice. We did tape that, but hopefully we'll tape this as well. Although there's no replacement for live.
No, of course not.
It's an easy play to travel. I'd like to do it in Baltimore somewhere pretty close. So we'll talk.
All right, we'll talk to the Center Stage people or maybe Everyman Theater. Yeah. Tell me about your experience with fairs and why Baltimore is different.
Well, Baltimore, I always loved coming to Baltimore because it's small fair and it's just more intimate. It always was at the museum, which was nice. It wasn't like crazy where you feel like you're going to die after the week. It's like local collectors and it's people that really love prints. So it's kind of like the print fair, but not as big. It's kind of like ink. It's a little more like the ink fair, which is that small one in Miami at the hotel. That's what it reminds me more of. And where's the barbecue going to be?
Yeah, so for people who aren't in the inner circle, when the fair was at the BMA for the last however many years, we always organized a dinner for all of the exhibitors, and usually it was at a trustee's house or maybe Martha Mack's house, who owns Goya Contemporary. And this year, since I don't have trustees backing me on anything, it's going to be at my house. It's going to be casual. It's going to be barbecue. It's just going to be us. So
very, very fun. And we're near the baseball stadium. I'm going to go to a game.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
For sure. Saturday night.
Have you been to the stadium here before?
I don't think so.
It's one of the best stadiums in the country.
Yeah.
I mean, I know everybody says that, but ours really is.
One of the worst teams, but the best stadiums.
Right, exactly. I was going to say, can't promise you a win, but...
Yeah, well, that's okay. I love going to different stadiums, so.
Yeah, fun. Okay, cool.
I'm a big ball fan.
All right, well, see you in Baltimore.
See you, Ann. Thanks so much. Can't wait to see everybody. Is John Waters going to come, I hope?
Oh, that's a good question. I should tweet at him or something.
Yeah, I just saw he's writing a new book, so.
Okay. He must be in town then. All right. Yeah, that's a good plan. I'll reach out to him. Cool. All right. Thank you, Jim. And yes, we will see you in 2 weeks.
We'll see you in 2 weeks. Can't wait. Thanks so much.